Crypto miners have taken off with the recent surge of Bitcoin. And right now, I believe Fortress Technologies, ticker symbol FORT, on the Canadian exchange is undervalued and is next in line to take off. So in today's video, I'll do an in-depth overview of the company, compare them with other Canadian crypto miners, I'll break down the chart, and lastly, I'll go over some red flags that I see. FORT is a Bitcoin miner based out of Vancouver, Canada, with a mining facility in Grant County, Washington State. I know, Canadian-based company with operations in the US, but I found that Washington State is actually an ideal location because they offer some of the cheapest power sources in the entire US and Canada for that matter. So profits from Bitcoin mining are greater than in other states. The company acquired this facility in February of 2018 and purchased 1,400 ASIC S9 amp miners. Immediately afterwards, they subleased the facility to WeHash Technology, which is also based out of Vancouver, Canada, to mine on their behalf for a minimal fee. Since acquiring this facility, they've mined 524 BTC, but have sold many over the years. However, they recently stated they're retaining all of their mined BTC going forward. The current market cap is around 46 million at the time of this recording, and there are 69 million common shares outstanding. 30% are owned by insiders, another 7.5% by institutional investors, mostly held by Anson funds, which I'll get into later in the video, and the remaining 62.5% is left for us retail investors, and this is roughly 43 million shares, which is a very tight float. Looking at their Q3 2020 financial results from November 2020, they have 9 million in cash, 0 debt, and 163 BTC on hand like I just said. They also have a share buyback program, and so far the company has purchased 1.4 million of its shares under the normal course issuer bid. This is where shares are repurchased by the company and then cancelled in order to reduce the overall number of shares outstanding. On February 24th of this year, FORT announced a $7.6 million bought deal with Canaccord. That's 12 million units at 63 cents. This actually closed on March 26th, with the over-allotment option granted. The total proceeds are $9.6 million, with 14.8 million units at 63 cents. The deal also includes warrants for each common share at 82 cents, exercisable 60 months from now. Some quick napkin math, adding to the $9 million in cash, the company should now have $18 million, plus the 163 BTC from November, which if we price at 67,000 Canadian as of today, works out to $10.9 million, bringing $29 million in liquidity for a company that has a market cap of 46 million. As you can see, FORT is significantly undervalued. So with this bought deal out of the way, the company is now ready to expand their mining capabilities as well as pursue other growth-related opportunities. Any news release in the coming weeks about this or an update on their BTC holdings would catapult the stock price. FORT's management and board of directors is solid, all with proven track records of success. Founder and CEO Aidan Killick started his career as an RF engineer at Sierra Wireless and understands blockchain and crypto mining. Co-founder Roy Sebag serves as chairman, who is also the founder and CEO of Gold Money, founder and former CEO of Bitfarms until 2019. Taking a look at the board of directors, one was a CFO at PayPal and 2 others held positions at Goldman Sachs. Institutional investors often avoid companies that are too small, too illiquid, or too risky. So institutional ownership in a microcap stock like FORT is great, but not if Anson Funds is in the picture. Anson Funds are notorious naked short sellers. In naked shorting, shorters sell shares they haven't borrowed or don't intend to borrow. Some even short phantom shares that don't exist, which is why it's technically illegal in the US and in Europe. But in Canada, big banks and financial institutions turn a blind eye to accounts routinely participating in these illegal transactions because of the large fees they collect from them. There have been serious allegations made against Anson Funds, and some names they've been involved in include Zenabis Global, ticker ZENA, Afria, ticker APHA, and the well-known Genius Brands, ticker GNUS. If you want to know more about these guys, I'll post some links in the comment section for anyone interested. Anson funds used to hold 17%, but they've been selling off their position and it's now down to 7.5%, presumably because FORT doesn't want them as a large shareholder anymore. Also, since they no longer hold 10% or greater in shares, there will not be another CEDR filing showing when Anson Funds is completely out. Here's a quick chart I made to highlight the comparisons between some of the Canadian crypto miners that have already taken off. Based on the market caps and the Bitcoin holdings, you can see why I believe FORT is undervalued. Here's the thing though, I wasn't able to find any updates on FORT's hash rate. The last known number they released in 2018 was 19 pentahashes, which is negligible in comparison to the other miners. FORT does not have an OTC counterpart and only trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, which limits the exposure to both institutional and retail investors. And this could be a primary reason why FORT hasn't taken off already. And if you haven't checked out my video on the Very Good Food Company, I go into detail about the various exchanges. I believe they were recently added to Wealthsimple Trade. Quick plug, for anyone looking for a $0 commission stock trading app, you can use my link below to get a $10 credit after depositing $100 in the account. Like other crypto miners, the stock price of FORT is affected by the volatility and price of major cryptocurrencies. And there was lots of volatility in the market and in the crypto space lately, especially on Friday with expiration of $6 billion worth of Bitcoin options. Before looking at the charts, I want to bring to your attention the latest COT report. For those who don't know, this is a weekly publication that shows the positions that hedge funds and institutions are taking for various futures commodities. So for us retail investors, this provides an indication on how to take our trades because it's smart to be on the same side as the big boys. For the BTC futures, if you look at the long-short ratio, 744 longs were added compared to 497 shorts. This means more hedge funds and institutions are going long this week. And this explains the bullish engulfing candle on Friday. As you can see, correction here for 2 weeks since the all-time high of 61,800 and a huge single-day green candle. Bulls came through the following day with the close above the prior day's close. Key thing to note, there was a bounce off the 50 MA. Zooming out, whenever the 50 MA was respected, this led to the next leg up. Moving to the 4-hour, this trend line is acting as a massive resistance. I'll be watching for a break above this level and continuation into the rest of this week. A clear break above 61,800 could open doors for a move towards 75,000. On the weekly, we are still in consolidation mode, which explains the chop on the daily time frame with the next support at 43,000. Now coming to FORT, we closed at 66 cents, up 1.5% on the day. Switch to the daily to get a better picture. We seem to be trading in a range between 63, which happens to be the price of the bought deal, and 80 cents. Once we break above 80 cents, our next wall is at 101. On the flip side, if the 63 cent support is broken, it could be a free fall to 45 cents. A pennant formed and broke to the downside past 63 cents, but bulls followed through for a green finish in the last 2 trading days. Again, 63 support is being respected. And like I said earlier, I'll be watching for the price action on BTC. And keep in mind, the whole crypto industry might be overvalued right now, which would indicate a coming correction. And when this happens, it will be a good opportunity for your favorite mining stocks, including FORT. Doing my due diligence for FORT was challenging, and here are some of the red flags. All you have to do is just go to their website, which is the landing page with no updates, and the last time they've been on Twitter was in 2018. There is no investor presentation. Only one I found was from 2018. Their financials are old, and the company has not released any significant news updates since November 2020. And for me to invest long term, I need to see transparency. With all that said, FORT is the last undervalued crypto miner still under $1. Full disclosure, I am riding the wave. I have a position in the 70s, Stop loss at 60 cents because I can definitely see this rocketing in the short term as BTC rises to all-time highs and with new investors discovering the company.